Welcome back, everyone. Today we'll be doing a deep dive into the life of Dr. A.P.J. Abdul Kalam.
Oh, this should be fascinating.
It really is, using excerpts from his autobiography to trace his journey.
Oh, wow. His autobiography. I've heard great things.
From his humble beginnings on Rameswaram, that island
Right.
famous for its sacred Shiva temple,
Yeah.
to his pivotal role in shaping India's scientific landscape.
Okay, interesting.
And you'll see how his story intertwines with India's quest for
For
technological independence,
oh,
particularly in rocketry and missile development.
that's what he's known for.
Exactly.
What I find fascinating is how Kalam's ambition really aligned with that national aspiration.
Right.
He became a symbol of that quest.
Okay, so let's start with his childhood.
Okay.
Kalam grew up on Rameswaram, this island, as we said,
Right, the Shiva temple.
with a vibrant mix of religious communities.
Okay.
And his autobiography paints a picture of a childhood filled with
Ah.
harmony and coexistence.
Int-
It seems like religious differences weren't a big deal amongst the children.
Well, it makes you think how those early experiences shaped his worldview, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
He actually talks about that in the book.
Ah.
He shares this anecdote from his fifth standard
Okay.
where he was asked to move to the back of the class because of his religion.
Oh, wow.
He was sitting next to his friend, Ramananda Sastri,
Right.
a Brahmin priest's son,
Mm.
and the new teacher, the teacher couldn't stand the sight of them together.
That's awful.
It is. It's really sad.
To think that something as simple as sitting next to a friend
Right.
could be seen as so controversial.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And what's even more striking is that both boys were heartbroken by this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Sastri even started weeping as Kalam moved.
Ah,
But thankfully, Sastra's father, the high priest,
okay.
stepped in and confronted the teacher.
That's pretty amazing.
It is.
A high priest advocating for unity.
Unity and understanding between different faiths.
Yeah, it speaks to the kind of environment Kalam grew up in.
It really does. And this incident reveals a core value that defined his life. Bridging divides and fostering unity.
And we see it play out throughout his story.
They're out.
Now, Rameswaram seemed to be filled with these influential figures.
Oh, yeah.
Kalam talks very fondly of his science teacher,
Okay.
Yadarai Solomon,
Yadarai Solomon.
who ignited his scientific curiosity.
So he had a knack for finding these incredible mentors.
They did, yeah.
He mentions his cousin, Sam Sutton,
Right.
who was a newspaper distributor.
The only one on the island.
Right, and Kalam couldn't read the papers yet,
Ah,
but he was fascinated by the pictures.
that's interesting.
It shows his early thirst for knowledge,
Yeah.
his awareness of the world around him.
And then there was this former revolutionary,
A revolutionary.
yeah, S.T.R. Manning,
T.R. Manicum.
whose library became a treasure trove for young Kalam.
Wow, that's amazing.
You can imagine him spending hours poring over books, soaking up information from every source he could find.
Each of these individuals, with their unique experiences, played a vital role in shaping Kalam's early years.
Right.
They instilled in him a love for learning, curiosity, and a strong sense of morality.
Sounds like a very rich upbringing, intellectually.
It was.
So, alongside this thirst for knowledge, Kalam had this early fascination with flight.
Oh.
He writes about watching cranes and seagulls soaring above Rameswaram, dreaming of joining them in the sky.
Interesting.
It's almost foreshadowing his future in aerospace engineering.
You could say it's prophetic, considering his journey in rocketry,
Right.
but it wasn't a direct path.
Right.
He initially wanted to be an Air Force pilot,
Of course.
which leads us to the next chapter,
Okay.
his education,
Right.
and the decisions that shaped his career.
He left Rameswaram to pursue higher education
Okay.
in Ramanathapuram,
Okay.
which must have been a huge step.
Leaving the comfort of home.
Yeah.
Do you think that early experience of leaving home influenced his later journeys?
I think so, yeah.
His perspective on exploring new frontiers?
You must have.
Absolutely, and we see the unwavering support of his father here.
Okay.
He understood the importance of pursuing one's dreams.
Even if it meant leaving home.
Exactly.
Wow.
He even quoted Khalil Gibran to Kalam's mother.
Oh, really?
Yeah, acknowledging the need for children to chart their own paths.
Beautiful sentiment. Shows the kind of environment that nurtured Kalam's ambition. It does. So after Ramanathapuram, he went on to St. Joseph's College
Okay.
in Trichy,
In Trichy, all right?
where he encountered another impactful teacher,
Oh, yeah.
Reverend Father T.N. Sakura.
T and Sakura.
Yeah. And Father Sakura was one of those educators who truly cared. He went above and beyond for his students.
What did he do?
Well, he even ensured they had gingerly oil for their ritual baths during Deepavali.
Wow, that's going the extra mile.
It is.
It highlights the impact teachers can have. Absolutely.
On a young person's life.
Yeah.
It's the small acts of kindness that leave a lasting impression.
But it wasn't all straightforward for Kalam.
Oh.
He eventually realized that physics wasn't his true passion.
Okay.
And he decided to pursue engineering at the Madras Institute of Technology.
MIT?
MIT, exactly.
This was a pivotal moment.
It was.
It's where his fascination with flight started to take a more concrete form.
Right.
Picture him at MIT spending hours studying decommissioned aircraft.
Wow.
Absorbing these intricate details, almost as if he was preparing for his destiny, even if he didn't realize it at the time.
And at MIT, he had some influential professors.
Like
Professor Sponder, Professor Pandalai, Professor Narasimha Rao.
All right, so each of them leaving a lasting impact.
Absolutely.
On his thinking and his approach to aeronautical engineering.
Amazing how the right mentors can shape your trajectory.
It's true.
So Professor Sponder, with his hands-on experience,
really instilled in Kalam a deep understanding of aerodynamics. He wasn't just learning from textbooks.
Right.
He was learning from someone who had built and flown aircraft.
That's incredible.
And Professor Pandalai, who headed the aeronautics department, encouraged Kalam to think beyond textbooks.
Oh, interesting.
To participate in real-world challenges.
So this hands-on approach really resonated with him.
I think so, yeah.
Kalam was always drawn to action.
Absolutely.
And a practical application.
And then there's Professor Narasimha Rao.
Yes.
The mathematician, who introduced Kalam to theoretical aerodynamics.
Okay.
It was Rao who instilled in him a love for the precision and the elegance of mathematical physics.
Wow.
This skill would later earn him the nickname, the man with the surgical knife.
Oh, really?
During design reviews.
That's a great nickname.
So he graduates from MIT as an aeronautical engineer.
Right.
And two exciting career paths open up.
What are they?
The Air Force. Fulfilling that childhood dream of flying.
Yeah.
And a position at the Directorate of Technical Development and Production.
Oh, wow. Okay.
In the Ministry of Defense.
Ministry of Defense. Got it.
He applied for both.
So eager to contribute to India's advancement.
Yes.
And he was called for interviews at both places.
He was.
Imagine this young man from Rameswaram traveling to Dehradun for the Air Force selection.
Wow.
And then to Delhi for the DTD&P interview. Must have been quite an experience.
It must have been.
Stepping into those new environments, encountering such different cultures.
The anticipation must have been intense.
Oh, Jeff.
Knowing that his future hung in the balance.
Yeah.
So what happened?
What happened? Did he make it into the Air Force? He did well in the D2D&P interview, but he wasn't selected for the Air Force.
Oh, wow.
A major disappointment.
It must have been.
Considering how much he cherished that dream of flying.
Makes you think about how even brilliant minds face setbacks, you know.
Right, and how those experiences shape their character.
Exactly.
And Kalam's story is a testament to resilience.
Yeah.
He went on a soul-searching trip to Rishikesh.
Oh, really?
To come to terms with this disappointment.
Wow.
Which speaks to his introspective nature.
It does.
And when he returned to Delhi,
he
found out he got the DTD&P position.
Okay.
Putting his disappointment aside, he embraced this new path.
Right.
And it led him to his true calling. Rocketry.
It's fascinating how what might seem like a setback can actually steer you towards your destiny.
It's true.
So he starts at DTD&P.
Okay.
Working on supersonic target aircraft.
All right.
Even though his Air Force dream didn't pan out, he was still in the world of aeronautics.
He was, and he was sent to Kanpur for hands-on experience
Right.
at the Aircraft and Armament Testing Unit.
ANATU.
Exactly.
Got it.
There, he got involved in evaluating the Natmek-I aircraft.
The Natmek-I, okay.
A British jet fighter that India was adopting. And this experience exposed him to the realities of industrial life.
In what way?
He writes about the pollution, the crowds.
Oh, wow.
The sense of displacement among the workers.
Right. A far cry from the serenity of Rameswaram.
It was. And amidst this, a new opportunity presented itself.
Okay.
The GEM project.
GM? What's that?
Short for Ground Effect Machine.
Ground Effect Machine.
Essentially a hovercraft.
Wait, a hovercraft? That seems like a detour from airplanes.
It might seem like a tangent.
Yeah.
But the GM project turned out to be a crucial turning point.
Okay.
Kalam and his team were tasked with building this hovercraft from scratch.
From scratch.
With very limited guidance and resources.
That's a challenge.
Imagine the pressure
Yeah.
and the sheer ingenuity required to pull that off.
Right. It must have been incredible.
It was.
Did they manage to get this hovercraft built?
They did. They named it Nandi.
Nandi.
And it was ready for testing.
Wow.
But then, abruptly, the project was shelved.
Oh, no.
No explanation, no clear reason given.
After pouring their heart and soul into it.
That's exactly. Imagine that.
It must have been devastating.
Devastating for Kalam, but here's where fate intervened.
Okay.
Kalam was asked to demonstrate Nandi
For
an important visitor.
Okay.
Even though the project had been shelved.
Wow.
And this visitor turned out to be Professor Vikram Sarabhai.
Professor Sarabhai.
The visionary leader of India's space program.
Wow. What a turning point.
It was.
His work had caught the attention of one of the most influential figures in Indian science.
It had, and Professor Sarabhai was clearly impressed by Nandi. But more importantly, by Kalam's ingenuity and drive.
So this seemingly abandoned hovercraft project was his ticket into the space program.
It was.
Amazing how things come full circle like that.
It is.
So Kalam was invited to join INCOSPAR.
INCOSPAR.
The Indian National Committee for Space Research.
The precursor to ISRO.
Right.
The Indian Space Research Organization.
So this marks his official entry into the world of rocketry.
It does.
Talk about being in the right place at the right time.
Absolutely. And what better mentor than Professor Sarabhai?
Yeah.
Kalam began his journey at INCOSPAR with a crash course in computer programming.
Computer programming, huh?
At the Tata Institute of Fundamental Research.
Okay.
TFR in Bombay.
Got it.
The atmosphere there was different.
Different from?
From the rigid hierarchy he experienced in the Defense Directorate.
Okay.
At INCOSPAR, it was all about collaboration, shared passion, pushing the boundaries of scientific knowledge.
Sounds like he finally found his tribe.
He did, and soon after, he was selected for a 6-month training program at NASA.
NASA? What?
In the United States.
Imagine that.
Going from building a hovercraft in Kanpur to training at NASA.
What an incredible opportunity.
He was.
What did he take away from his time there?
He learned a great deal about cutting-edge technology.
Of course.
But perhaps more importantly, he observed the American work culture.
Oh, interesting.
He writes about their problem-solving approach.
Okay.
Their willingness to confront challenges head-on. Their emphasis on teamwork.
Valuable lesson.
That he would bring back to India.
So armed with this new knowledge and perspective, he returns to India.
Ready to contribute.
Did he immediately dive into building rockets?
Almost.
Okay.
India's first rocket launch took place shortly after his return.
Oh, wow.
On November 21st, 1963.
Right.
It was a sounding rocket called Nike Apache.
Nike Apache.
Which was built at NASA.
A sounding rocket. Can you explain the difference between that and a satellite launch vehicle?
Of course. Sounding rockets are designed to probe the upper atmosphere and the near Earth environment.
Got it.
They carry scientific payloads to high altitudes.
Right.
But they lack the power to actually put objects into orbit.
Oh.
They're essentially powerful probes.
So they gather data about the atmosphere.
Exactly.
Okay, so they launched this Nike Apache.
Yes.
What was Kalam's role in this launch?
He was in charge of rocket integration and safety.
A critical role.
For this inaugural launch. They had to overcome some last-minute challenges, even manually lifting the rocket onto the launcher.
Oh, wow.
Due to an issue with the crane.
Sounds tense.
It was.
So the launch was successful?
It was. They collected valuable flight data.
That's great.
And for Kalam, a moment of immense pride.
I can only imagine.
He was part of a team that launched a rocket from Indian soil.
What an achievement.
A symbol of India's growing ambition in space.
It was just the beginning, though, right?
You're absolutely right. It wasn't just about launching a single rocket.
Right.
This was about Professor Sarabhai's grand vision of a robust and self-reliant Indian space program.
Right.
A program where India could design, build, and launch its own technology.
And that vision starts to take shape from here, right?
It does. They launched a program to develop indigenous-sounding rockets called Rohini.
Rohini, okay.
Which were designed and built entirely in India.
Wow.
Using locally developed propellants and materials.
Major step towards self-reliance,
It was.
moving away from dependence on foreign technology.
Exactly.
This was a clear statement from India,
It was.
demonstrating their determination.
To carve their own path in space exploration.
But they weren't stopping at sounding rockets.
Not all.
They were already laying the groundwork for more ambitious projects.
Like,
Satellite launch vehicles.
yes.
They could put Indian satellites into orbit.
The vehicles that would allow India to establish itself as a spacefaring nation?
So we're seeing the emergence of India's space program,
We are.
with Kalam playing a key role.
A story of ambition, ingenuity,
And collective determination.
to build something truly remarkable.
And as we move forward,
Yes.
we'll see how Kalam's leadership and technical brilliance were instrumental,
In achieving these goals,
culminating in the development of India's first satellite launch vehicle.
SLV-3.
I'm eager to dive into that next
Me too.
and explore the challenges and triumphs that mark this pivotal milestone.
In India's space journey.
We left off with India laying the groundwork for its own satellite launch vehicles.
Ambitious goal.
This is where the story of SLV-3 begins.
And Kalam's leadership really shines.
He was appointed project director for SLV-3.
Massive undertaking.
Imagine coordinating a large workforce,
Across multiple institutions,
all while tackling complex technological challenges.
the pressure must have been immense.
You're right, the sheer scale of the project.
But Kalam had this unique management style.
Yeah, focused on communication, teamwork.
Empowering individuals
Exactly.
to take ownership of their work,
He fostered a culture of trust and transparency.
where open discussion and feedback were encouraged.
Right. He understood that innovation thrives
In an environment where people feel safe to take risks,
and learn from their mistakes.
it sounds like he led by example,
He did.
inspiring his team with his dedication and passion.
Didn't something happen during a test in front of Prosarovai?
Oh, yes. During a nose cone jettisoning test,
Okay.
the mechanism failed to activate
Oh, no.
in front of Prof. Sarabhai.
That must have been mortifying for the team.
It was.
So what happened? Did Prof. Sarabhai reprimand them?
Instead of berating them,
Yeah.
he just observed.
Mm-hmm.
His silence spoke volumes.
I see.
And this subtle reaction spurred the team to quickly fix the problem.
That's a great example of how encouraging a culture of learning
Can be much more effective than blame.
absolutely a testament to Professor Pai's leadership as well.
Creating that space for innovation.
So after years of hard work,
Dedication.
probably a few more tense moments,
Right.
the day of the SLV-3 launch finally arrived.
For me,
It was a success.
it was.
On July 18th, 1980,
Wow.
SLV-3 soared into the sky,
Carrying the Rohini satellite.
marking India's entry into the exclusive club of spacefaring nations.
A historic achievement.
It's hard to overstate the significance.
India achieved its goal of developing its own satellite launch capability.
A testament to the vision of Professor Ravai,
The leadership of Prof. Dhawan.
who took over after Professor Ravai's death,
Right.
and the tireless efforts of Kalam and his team.
It was a triumph of human ingenuity.
And perseverance.
But Kalam's journey didn't end there.
It didn't.
He went on to lead the development of India's Integrated Guided Missile Development Program.
The IGMDP.
Yes,
So from space to defense,
it's true.
what was the IGMDP all about?
It was a bold initiative
Okay.
to develop 5 key missile systems.
Okay.
Prithvi, Trishul, Akash,
Right.
Nag, and Agni,
Strengthening India's defense.
showcasing its technological prowess.
This is where the story takes on a more geopolitical dimension.
You think so?
Didn't India face opposition from other countries regarding its missile program?
Yes, after the successful test launch of Prithvi,
Okay.
India faced a technology embargo
Really?
imposed by 7 nations. They were concerned about India's growing missile capabilities.
So they tried to restrict its access to critical technologies.
They did.
But that didn't deter Kalam and his team.
Not at all.
It fueled their determination,
They doubled down on collaboration
working with academic institutions and private industry.
to overcome the challenges posed by the embargo,
This spirit of self-reliance.
a recurring theme in Kalam's work.
He often spoke about the importance of self-belief.
Striving for technological independence.
True strength comes from within,
From a nation's ability to rely on its own capabilities.
and the IGMDP is a testament to that belief,
It was a remarkable feat of engineering,
proving that India could develop sophisticated missile technology.
despite external pressures.
But beyond the achievements, Kalam's life offers valuable insights.
For all of us,
What are some of the key takeaways you see?
Kalam's life embodies the power of dreaming big.
setting ambitious goals,
He shows us the importance of hard work
perseverance,
and unwavering dedication.
in achieving those goals, even in the face of setbacks.
He was a passionate advocate for education.
Always encouraging young people to embrace learning, think critically,
He believed in the power of unity
working together to overcome challenges.
and achieve something greater than ourselves.
And importantly, he lived a life of simplicity and humility.
Even after reaching such heights of success,
He never forgot his roots.
the lessons he learned growing up on that small island of Ramsworm.
It's been incredible exploring the life and work of Dr. A.P.J. Abdul Kalam,
He truly left a legacy
of scientific excellence
visionary leadership.
and an unwavering belief in human potential,
He challenges us to dream big
to embrace knowledge.
and to work tirelessly towards making a positive impact.
He shows us that even seemingly impossible goals can be achieved,
With passion, determination.
and a collective spirit of innovation.
His story is a beacon of hope.
A reminder that we all have the potential to achieve greatness.
If his story has resonated with you, we encourage you to explore his autobiography further,
You'll discover so much more about this remarkable individual.
whose life and work continue to inspire millions around the world.